Hello, and welcome to this honcast.com presentation brought to you by the Good Luck Have Fun crew. My name is Sven, joining me as always Xenoside, and this is the Club3D Tournament Best of 3 series between virtual esports and TMAN.
I think we should just call them the Tanari team. I think you can kind of, finagle.
Shout out to Tanari, basically our only streamer anymore. But like I was saying, the first place already went to INFS, second place to From Pub Stars. This best of 3 series is for third place. How's it going, Xeno?
It's going pretty well. I had a good weekend of football overall, which is always nice for me. But of course, excited to be here casting this third place game for the Club3D Tournament. And vRs, I think we've actually come across every once in a while. They're actually a pretty good team. So as far as at least me recognizing some people, that's always a good sign. And I'm just excited to... again, this is kind of one of those cases where it's not the sort of the usual top, 10, 12 teams in Han, so maybe we get to see things that are a little bit different as far as picks, bans, lineups, and all that.
Now, does it disturb you at all that I woke up at 3 p.m. today?
It does disturb me, especially since we had a planned date for 2:30 your time, and here I was being left out to dry, and you didn't show up, so I was a little sad about that. But
I was very, very tired. There were a lot of Mexicans outside my window mowing the lawn, so it disturbed my sleep quite a bit.
Yeah, I can see how them doing your work for you really makes you very exhausted.
I think they know that I sleep late, so they literally, outside my window is the most worthless part of the entire yard. And they just sit there with that really loud, what is that thing called? It's like the blower, the leaf blower, right by my window. I feel like the glass is just going to shatter, but unfortunately,
you think they're
didn't
deliberately
happen.
Trying to wake you up? Maybe they're trying to do you a favor, though. They're like, God, we got to get this guy into shape. I mean, to take this upon ourselves to have him wake up at a reasonable hour. But I guess it did not work in this case.
Shout out to all the Mexicans out there who get a bad rap for being lazy, because you guys do my job for me, and I don't know how I'm the one being lazy, so I never understood that at all.
Oh, yeah. They do a lot more work than a lot of people out there. But hey, at least it frees you up to join me here and do some casting, so I appreciate...
Hey, what is this? What is this? Usually I'm somewhat racist. This isn't getting off to a good start here. Let's get back on track, Zeno.
Well, you're being racist in a positive manner, I think.
I guess that's a good point. That is still technically, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Anyways,
bans, shall we?
How about those bans?
Yes.
For VRS, or what are they, virtual esports, I believe, Parasite, Silhouette, Master of Arms, and Magnus ban. Magnus kind of jumps out to me as a little bit unusual. For Team Tanari, as I'm going to call you from now on, we have Electrician, Hellbringer, Torture, and a Plague Rider, those being a little bit more standard. Hellbringer we haven't seen banned quite as much recently. So Hellbringer and Magnus I think are kind of the two slightly unusual ones, but nothing too crazy there, as we had a first pick of Nymphora, who actually got a tiny nerf recently. And on the other hand, Pharaoh and Polywog Priest picked up two solid pickups. I like the pickup of Polywog Priest with no torture on the board, so good picks I think from Tanari so far.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see a lot of heroes we've been seeing over and over banned, such as perhaps, an electrician and a torturer, to name two that really bother me, that we see literally every game. One hero that we see banned every game, of course, is Plague Rider, that we see banned or picked literally every game, but that's okay because he's awesome. Some heroes still on the board, like Kraken, and somebody we've been seeing a lot lately is Midas, and I think that would be a good pickup, especially against a Polywog. Especially when you consider that Polywog sucks now in today's Bacon game, like we've talked about in our past casts. You basically can't solo mid with him anymore, unless the other team lets you. So it's all up to the other team. And if you do get a Midas or a burst down hero, which, God, I'm so smart. They pick up a Midas. That's an excellent, very good matchup against Polywog Priest. We've seen that, him get dominated time and time again.
We have, and I think Midas plays kind of a role that's a little bit similar to a hero maybe like Pebbles, where he can do burst damage, but he has so much more utility, and the fact that you don't necessarily have to get a portal key on him, I think makes him, able to pick up some of those more helpful kind of team-based items earlier in the game. So
we've seen people pick up portal key on him too, though. But yeah, he's definitely not needed. 100% at least.
Yeah, as my Imperial March decides to go off, as apparently my phone is ringing off the hook right now. You
Mommy and
know,
Daddy are calling.
it's kind of weird when we have all these phrases. Like, I wonder how long from now it's gonna be before people are like ringing off the hook. Like, what does that even mean anymore? And then I'll be that old grumpy man sitting on my porch complaining about the good old days.
Oh, it's
But
just like rolling up and down the windows. It doesn't make any sense now, but it's still, universal, I feel like.
exactly.
I mean, what else are you going to say? I, what would you say? I can't even think of an alternative.
I
Um,
electronically have sent electronic waves into my circuit for my car computer, and the window is going up and down.
well, I think the rolling isn't necessarily an implication of mechanical usage of the little twirly thing.
Shut up, Xenos. Your droid's restarting for some reason. Your phone
It's not
sucks.
restarting. That's my voicemail, bro. It's my voicemail message.
Oh
Anyways,
my god. You
speaking,
disgust me.
Speaking of things other than phones, although I am going to point out that I'm going to get a new phone very soon, looking at that Droid Razor, which seems pretty cool to me.
Yeah, that does seem
Or
really good.
Maybe something else I'll drop like $1 bazillion on. Very excited.
Well,
about
watch
that.
it be cool now and then suck balls later like the other
yeah.
Razor.
That's the problem. There's like a new phone coming out every 6 weeks. But speaking of things that come out every 6 weeks, Heroes.
Whoa. Hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, let's go over the heroes real quick, like you're saying. Demented Shaman picked up, as we already saw, but in combination with a Zephyr and a Kraken, which is great to see considering that, we always say tanky heroes go great with Demented Shaman. But look at the hero names, or I'm sorry, the player names for virtual esports. We got Constipated, we got Horsespell, and Rape. Excellent
What?
names. What? What are you looking at?
Oh,
Tina?
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, I was not quite looking at the exact same thing that you were, but it is interesting that
Typical.
the two tanky heroes along with it's not the triple Goran, it's the triple heal with Midas, Demented Shaman, and Foreign. So
Yeah, that's true.
they're going to have a lot of backup for those two tanky heroes, and they don't necessarily have crazy late game, but on the other hand, you don't really have that on the other side as well. So I think they'll probably be pretty well off this game. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. On the other side, Hammerstorm, Valkyrie, Polywog, Myrmidon, which we don't really see quite as frequently, and finally, I'm just going to zoom in right now on the female Pharaoh, which I have not gotten a chance to see. Look at
Yeah,
those
I've heard
legs.
from Phil that the attack animation is horrendous, so just to wait and see if that's
look
actually
forward
the
to
case.
that. But at least we get to see her in the game. The Valkyrie Pharaoh combination is one that we've seen quite frequently lately. Polywog, I think, if they can get a good matchup with him middle, should be okay against Midas. That'll be relatively even, as we might actually have a level 1 combo being gone for.
It's kind of an early Hellfire usage, actually. Usually what you want to do is you want to get a little bit low, then pop Hellfire, and then pop Health Pot on top of that, because Congo cannot attack you while you're doing that. So that's an interesting choice, but see if it ends up working out for them as we see Valkyrie Arrow coming out here. But, yeah, I'm looking at the lineups here, and this is actually going to be kind of a big deal, this Congo, because I don't think Hellborn has a really good lineup matching up to what Virtual Esports has. Considering that if you're going up against a heal strategy of some sort, you want to get burst damage. They have absolutely, really no burst damage to speak of at all. Now, hope to God that they do this Congo correctly and give the experience to like 2 people, because you can get 2 people to almost level 5 right away, and that means you win 2 lanes automatically.
Yeah, you can see that they're really not doing that much damage. Like in comparison to other kind of do Congo first teams, Congo should be dead by now. So this is a little unfortunate for them, as they're going to miss out on a lot of experience in the lane. And now they're trying to pull back. Looks like Myrmidon has some good experience. So they kind of do what you're saying, but not necessarily to the same extent that you're hoping for. And again, a lot of experience being missed out on from the Hellborn team, but that'll give Polywog a little bit of a little bit of a head start, I guess, in that middle lane.
All right, so I just want to ask you a question. We've talked about this before, obviously, but I just want to bring it up for the viewers out there. As you said, Valkyrie picks up that token of life, but why not do what I said? Like, let's just assume you're doing a trialing like they're doing here, and you give experience to your top lane solo, and you give experience to your mid lane solo. Those lanes will be dominated, absolutely dominated, because they're level 4, and I believe last time we did this, if you get 1 creep kill after you hit that level 4, you will hit level 5. So let's just say 2 level 5s versus, those lanes, it's an automatic win, period. Then you go to the bottom lane, and you still have a chance to win that lane because you're on even ground. So, like, why don't you do that? And plus, you can give the token of life to somebody in that tri lane that they're all level 1, so you have the advantage there too. So, in essence, you have the advantage in all 3 lanes. I need answers,
Oh, that
I need
wasn't
it now.
just you ranting? I don't know.
I was, but I just want you to say,
I agree with you, sir. You're so smart.
For the most part, I do agree. I mean,
what do
the
you mean
main
for the
person.
most part?
Well, the main person you really want to get levels on is the person in mid. In this case, you're not going to have a huge advantage in other lanes, as I might actually have a gank being set up in middle. I mean, it's a little bit odd that Myrmidon is the one hero that doesn't get experience when Hammerstorm is much better off at level 1 than Myrmidon, so not quite sure what's up with that. We might have a little bit of initiation. Does have elemental warp and uses it to dodge the stun there.
Oh, wow.
So, good play there by Midas, making sure he got himself out of trouble. It's like if you're gonna do it, like don't do it half-assed where it doesn't make any sense, I guess.
Yeah, and now Valkyrie's stuck basically soloing a dual lane Kraken and Demented Shaman. So remains to be seen what Hellborn actually wants to do with their roaming Myrmidon level 1 and their level 2. Now he's level 3 Hammerstorm, cuddly little Hammerstorm. Poor Myrmidon, man. So he had the right idea getting away from the experience as he picks up the Illusion Rune. But yeah, I'm just questioning that altogether. And again, we haven't really done a level 1 Kongor since they changed him. And I am 99% sure the experience they didn't change anything with experience. So there's really no reason not to do that. So for all you level 1 Kongor doers out there, just listen to me and you'll be happy. Especially when you have a hero like Polywalk who can probably, doesn't match up very well against Midas. Just absolutely dominate them with a 4 level advantage or something like that. Kraken's going to get stunned here by Hammerstorm at bottom, and there comes the arrow to follow it up. Only 1.5 second arrow, and Myrmidon's not doing anything.
Alright.
Myrmidon was level 2. Hammerstorm was level 1.
Myrmidon
actually got
I'm now
attention.
going to focus on Myrmidon for the next 10 seconds forward. Myrmidon, seriously? You're like the Demented Shaman of this game. Come on, man. I waited, by the way, until the next day, so that doesn't count. And, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Myrmidon was thinking. Like, it looked like she was trying to delay until the appropriate point in time, but then completely, I mean, that was a terrible freaking kill field. That has made up more initiation on the Kraken. I'm still at full health. I mean, they're not going to be able to kill him.
Watch you be wrong.
All right.
I hope you're wrong somehow.
Yeah, I'm never wrong. How dare you question me? As he will get away just fine. Meanwhile, at top, we do have Bloodlust, and did manage to actually legitimately catch the tail end of that one, as Pharaoh gets taken down at top.
No, I think I'm like
in
1
1v2.
second behind you, which is really going to bother me. So I'm going to skip ahead.
Sounds like an
And
excellent plan.
you're going to tell me when you're at 4:15.
No.
Nope. Alright.
Alright, we do have a little initiation onto Kraken. He does get that Unbreakable onto him, so
He's
just
fine. I'm
standing
ahead in
there.
time. Don't worry about it. Alright, tell me when you're at 4:32.
Alright, I will do my best as a little bit of back and forth there. At bottom, as I am now at 4:32. And as usual, Sunspin's failing horribly, really letting
Don't
me
worry,
down.
guys. I'm getting a new computer soon. I promise.
As a little bit of
He's
initiation
6'4".
on the Pharaoh once again, taking a lot of damage, and he uses that Hellfire to get
It's a
away.
she.
Ah,
Zeno.
fine.
Pathetic horse.
A she
Seriously.
in this case.
Exactly. That's why it's so difficult for me. Torture
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
his alt avatar and
That's
all.
why.
I have real trouble with that.
Anyways,
so Doc,
taking
in
a
the
quick
meantime,
look,
still has that token. 2 minutes left on
How
that.
dare
so.
you? How dare you? Nobody cares
dare
about
you.
Valkyrie. Why don't you go over the mid matchup so far?
As far as creep, Polywog is somehow winning. So much for what I said, but 29 is creep score for him. Meanwhile, Midas has a 16 and 9. So relatively even in the creep score, but you can see the levels. Polywog's already level 6. And I wish I had my mod that actually showed this. I'm gonna actually have to message somebody on S2 staff and tell them, ask them why they don't actually add experience bars. Like, is there any downside to that at all? You think? Any
As far
experience
as
bars?
like directly over the hero or on the
Well, for
sidebar
spectator.
overlay?
Yeah, well, not even a sidebar. We're gonna have an action at the top apparently. Zephyr's gonna take a lot of damage here, but Pharaoh is the one that got killed. So level 3 Hammerstorm, level 2 Myrmidon. Are they gonna be able to do anything? There's a missed weed field. As you call it, kelp field again, by the way. How dare you? How dare you, Zeno?
I see how it is. But Myrmidon not having too much success with that weed field, since apparently there's
Well, okay,
weeds
so
underwater as well.
mod. If you go to the portrait at the bottom right, where it shows like the level. It was just a circle over that level with like the purple.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good addition. You know, for
I'm
me,
gonna
the
message him
more
right after
the
this
more
game.
information, the better.
Agreed. Actually, I've made a list of things they need to add to this game, and
I'm sure
they gotta
it's
listen to me.
horses, more feces, and experience bar.
Well,
But-
experience
but-
bar, and then everything else is stuff that's in Dota 2 that I like, that they need to add, that would be very easy to add, actually, so. But I won't go into details, Zena, because I know how much you hate me talking about Dota 2.
I think it's an entirely different situation in this case than the point in time where I was not necessarily as overly
We're
excited
face
to hear
palming
about
at
all
NASL.
your
I remember
Dota
these
references. But we do have Zephyr actually farming pretty well. Picks up a Beast Heart, so working towards getting a Helm of the Black Legion so far. And yeah, as far as shows that are farming well, by far, Zephyr, top farm of the game.
That's pretty
422
ridiculous.
gold per minute is very, very good for 7 minutes in, and I think you're going to continue to see him take off and probably make a run towards that Mock of Brilliance pretty quickly. And he's not really going to be at too much of a risk of getting picked off unless they really do a great job of layering their stuns there. As we have 2 TPs coming in, there's initiation from Pharaoh trying to lock down that Zephyr. He is getting a lot of stuns, but you just see how tanky he is at this point in the game. 1, 2 kills, now he's going to probably look to get the tower. Drum roll. Well, apparently he's taking his time on that one. But we'll just kind of stay back. Well, poor Myrmidon's like, God, I finally hit a stun, and this is what you give me? He barely... Oh, what the
Oh my
heck are you
God.
doing? Nymphorus is going absolutely nuts here, dodging, manages to get away in the end. So, Myrmidon, unfortunately, cannot manage to quite pull off a kill in that situation.
Meanwhile, at mid, Midas was harassing Polywog quite a bit, almost got the kill there. You see him push the lane here, although Polywog's not even there, so he'd be able to bottle this rune very well. His lane pushing ability is by far better than a Polywog, who would have to... he can take down creeps pretty fast, but not quite as fast as Midas. So we're seeing that come into effect there. But again, he is 1 level behind a Polywog at this point. But going to bottom lane, we saw, as we're going to see, initiation on a Kraken by Hammerstorm. Kraken's going to try to run away. He's going to use his charge. There's the arrow. 2.5 second on Demented Shaman. Are they going to be able to get the kill here? Looks like Hammerstorm will look at that last hit. And wow, Kraken actually came back in for some reason and allows himself to go down to a Valkyrie as well. And we saw the Valkyrie token of life being used. Not used, I'm sorry.
Vanish.
It was... No. There's a better word for it. I'm going to think here.
Dissipated.
Yes, damn you. I love that word, dissipated, for some reason. But Kongor took back that token of life, basically. But they didn't really use it, so it kind of, you know, you're not really seeing any lasting effects of higher level or anything coming into effect, other than mid, where Polywog's still, well, he's the same level as Midas right now, but I'm sure he's at a higher level 8 than he is, so. But it's funny to see that, you know, when you do a level in Kongor, the 9 minutes in the game, you're not seeing any traces of it other than mid a little bit. You know?
I think we're seeing some traces of it with Myrmidon still level 2. But
yeah, there you go. Pharaoh's going to get killed at top 2 to Zephyr. Nice job by Zephyr keeping him in play, or her in place. That's going to kill me as well.
Zephyr.
Whoa!
560 gold per minute as we might have some action in mid. There's elemental warp being used to just get back behind the tower.
That was a nice.
They're gonna have a
animation
hard
there.
time shutting down this Zephyr. I mean, really, he's farming so well. As he's coming in, initiating on both Myrmidon and Polywog Priest, they're going to fall back, and he's not looking to get too crazy. As, unfortunately for them, Midas actually ends up taking a kill. There's the wards being thrown down on Zephyr. He does have a Helm of the Black Legion, so he'll be relatively tanky, trying to hack through those wards, and you see that he gets away just fine. So getting that early Helm is really going to help out for him.
Yep, you see the power of it right there as he lives through that. As a miss Zeal stun from Nymphora. I think he's actually going to initiate here. Midas is the only one that can really do anything as he has full HP, full mana for the most part. He's going to get trapped in the mummies by Pharaoh. Wow, this might be a huge mistake because Zephyr's... Wow, okay, never mind. Pharaoh is going to get killed. So in the end, it actually worked out. I felt like the entire team was baiting Midas there, but it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he had
mattering,
his own
I guess.
level of warp up too, so I think he felt like he could get away if things took a turn for the worse. And
He was getting hellfired, bro.
hush, hush, child.
How dare you? How dare you talk to me like I'm Reeves?
Yeah, speaking of Reeves, we miss him horribly, and he will be joining us hopefully very shortly.
Yeah, he has a
for
great
cast.
story to tell about last night when we watched a Human Centipede marathon, which, by the way, awesome, freaking awesome. Second movie is banned in a few countries apparently. So I highly suggest it for people that don't get queasy easily because it is seriously disgustingly awesome. There is a feces scene that will live in infamy as Myrmidon's going to take a Kraken ultimate to the face and the splash is going to get the kill. Meanwhile, the rest of the team's going to come here within 4 as well. And you see the first use of that really. But Valkyrie's going to probably leap away here and most likely get away, although Zephyr's getting really hardcore. He's going to use his ultimate. Oh, that might be a big waste there as another TP's going to come in to help out. Good old-fashioned Valkyrie. Kind of a wasted stun there from Hammerstorm, but basically shows that he is there, ready to go. Yeah, you were telling me that you don't understand. There's literally no reason to make a movie like Human Centipede 2.
I stand by that one.
You said it attracts nobody. There's no
That's not
attraction
what I said.
whatsoever.
I said there's no purpose for its existence.
Yeah, and that's incorrect because I haven't laughed that hard in months. I was crying, and I did something else too, which I can't say.
I have to say the other thing that you did really give it more of a reason for existing. Having that happen, of course, is a joy to me and a little bit of payback for all the horrible times I had in the hotel room that we shared together.
Right. But for people that don't know what we're talking about, sorry, we can't divulge that information. But whenever Reeves comes on, whenever we schedule this episode 51 that we're going to be casting, I will let him tell the story because it's been so long. So very long.
Indeed. Well.
Wow, look at the gold per minute. Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, he's still at 540 gold per minute, farming very well. Almost has 3k, so he'll be picking up that sort of the high probably in the next minute or two. That's not good. I mean, 13 minutes into the game, you're looking at maybe a 16-minute mock or something like that. That is insanely fast, especially when you picked up, you already have your Ghost Marches, you already have your Helm of the Black Legion. He's certainly rolling. He's like Scrooge McDuck right now, as you know.
Yeah, enough with Scrooge McDuck.
I love Scrooge McDuck. I love Owen Wilson behind enemy lines as we have an arrow fly through there and miss absolutely everybody. I have to use the same. I have to it's like Superman and Seinfeld. It's like a pineapple and Psych. Just has to be done.
What? Pineapple? What does that do with Seinfeld?
No, pineapple and Psych. Seinfeld super. Anyway,
I wouldn't know anything about Psychic. Initiation on his effort from Pharaoh. A lot of damage coming out. There you see that great Kraken ultimate. Pharaoh's going to get absolutely decimated along with Hammerstorm. Initiation's going to continue. Nice 1.5 second round Zephyr, but he's going to use the Cyclones to heal up. And is this going to break up this fight or are they going to continue on here? Is Myrmidon's going to miss yet another weed fill, unfortunately for him. Kraken's going to try to initiate, perhaps. No, he's going to try to back up. Volleyball board's still up there.
Gust up though, so Valkyrie needs to be a little cautious there.
He's going to use it, but Valkyrie is going to leap away. Still have that leap intact there. Another miss weed fill from Myrmidon. Just a miss weed fill left and right from her. And that looks like that fight is over. So, you want to talk about this Myrmidon some more, huh?
No, I think Myrmidon's trying to counteract all the missed Nempora Zeal stuns that have been thrown out by, let's see, CNR here. Big shout out to you. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just not your day, and
we've all had games like that, days like that, for that matter.
Weeks, months,
it snowballs.
It
really does snowball. It gets in your head as wow, Valkyrie might be in a lot of trouble. Ooh, a missed stun. There we go. Minus finally gets that stun up with that elemental orb. Valkyrie's gonna try to leap away, so the missed Kraken charge. As a result, nice 3.3 second arrow from Valkyrie, and they're not gonna be able to do anything because Kraken also has that Helm of Black Legion to boot.
Helm and the amount of heals coming out right now from Virtual Esports is just freaking insane. Like you saw Zephyr almost get locked down in the original team fight there, and then it's just like heal after Unbreakable after more heals, and then he had his Cyclones. And I mean, like what? I really just don't know what they can do against that. I mean, you might have Valkyrie try and rush something like a shield breaker, but they don't have that much burst damage. Other than that, as we have another stun going to Kraken, there's some more heals. As now they're actually combining a lot of spells, but it doesn't necessarily matter for Hammerstorm at the very least. As an attempted TP, very nice. I appreciate that play as Kraken ends up going down to Myrmidon. Finally manages to hit something. Please. Yeah, but no. You don't have any other options available to you. You're trying something out, Yeah,
I have no problem with that. I'm just poking fun. Just poking fun. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
No, that's what we do here. But that's something you did mention at the beginning is Midas's heal is something that I would say it's underrated, really.
It's not talked about very much. You kind of think of it as a nuke or something to combine to actually get that stun onto people, but a lot of people don't really take into account.
Zeno.
Yes, I did see that. Thank you very much. As those moans and groans, ladies and gentlemen, mean that an item has been picked up on the Heroes of New Earth battlefield. What item could that possibly be? Perhaps that Mock of Brilliance. Free
Yeah, you
16
said 16 minutes. Yeah, it was sub 6, barely though. Sub
Well,
16.
okay,
That's
if we're going on predictions, I still consider that pretty much very,
Incorrect.
very precisely right. How dare you?
Incorrect. Yeah, I'll give it to you. But now we're seeing like the levels are just getting out of hand here. Level 5 Myrmidon, level 5 Hammerstorm. And that's just not going to do it when you, especially when you're going up against, you know, lowest level on Legion is level 6 Demented, but then after that jumps up to level 8 Amphora. So this level 1 tower looks like it's going to go down, and another missed weed field there by Myrmidon. He's just going to run back in shame. It's okay, buddy. I love you. I still love you. Deep down inside, somewhere, depths of my bowels. People
like a
don't
lie
ever
to me.
take, you know, no one ever takes my anything sincerely from me. Why is that? They always think I'm being sarcastic.
I think it's because you're usually so mean to me, you know, and it's all that abuse. No, I don't know.
You know
I
what's
feel
funny?
like
I have
you.
noticed, and I do apologize that I've been more mean to you lately. I think it's because I'm used to having Reeves on to bash.
Well,
And
good
it's-
thing we'll be having him back. You know, in a couple of days. I'm
wait.
sure he's looking forward to that. As we might see Pharaoh getting stuck out here
Bottom.
at top, as we have action at bottom, as Sunfan so nicely informs us. We have Valkyrie doing a great job at least making sure they don't deny that tower. Now he's going to leap and try and make a run for it. It'll be fine, as now we have action in mid as well as a Valkyrie ultimate, so we'll maybe see, yes, Kraken will drop there. Heroes at the bottom. We have another kill being picked up by Zephyr, who now is farming at 584 gold per minute.
Shout out to Zephyr, aka Horsebull, for being a huge Good Luck Have Fun fan. Apparently, loves the horses. Great to see that. Yeah, Zephyr is just getting. I mean, this. I don't know what. I really do not know what TMAN. I don't know what their name is. TMAN something. This Euro team on the right on the help more. I don't know what they can do.
Yeah, I
what
mean,
they
if
can do.
he picks up like a heart at this point, I mean, he can probably pull that off in the next 5-6 minutes.
You know, I miss Zephyr picking up like more DPS items, like a Frostburn in conjunction with perhaps a demonic breastplate. I would love to see that again. Makes
I
it really
wouldn't.
powerful. The
I
slow is so helpful on Zephyr, and I don't care what you say.
Alright, well, I guess we can't argue that point. I mean, there's just so many other items that'd be much more helpful. You can either, you know, maybe go for some more support items, even get a Cyclone or a Sheep Stick. And
Wait,
basically
what?
a million items that are
On
better.
Zephyr?
Yeah,
No. this
I
game.
know. Oh, okay, so this game's basically, it's not looking
Yeah,
good
I don't think
right
he
now.
needs to go tankier. I mean, he could, but he has so much heal on this. There's so much heal potential, as we've been seeing the entire game. So I think more DPS route would be just grand, but it's not going to really matter because this Mock of Brilliance is going to carry them, I think.
Legion had destroyed
I mean,
a Hellborn tower.
that might be the earliest Mock of Brilliance we've ever cast. I think we've seen one perhaps a little bit earlier, but as far as casting, like on a Wild Soul maybe, but
Yeah,
Very
as
early.
far as impressive farming games, this has to be up there now. It's 612 gold per minute, so he is certainly cruising right through. You know, he's a little bit Scrooge McDuck-like, don't you think? Because I don't think I've used
God.
that reference quite enough. For those of you that were not fans of DuckTales when you were children, one, I'm sorry. Two, now you know why I'm so Jewish today. Three, I suggest that you go watch at least one of those movies immediately. Because
It was a movie?
Oh yeah.
that was a show.
Oh, it was a show as well. But there were movies. I was more of a fan of the movies. There's also a game on the original Nintendo. That was very fun. As we have Hollywog Wars being turned along with a stun, but you see all the heals, the tankiness. Zephyr's not really in any danger of getting killed here. Valkyrie, on the other hand, finally does get Shield Breaker. That is level 1. And an arrow goes on into Amphora. They will not pick him off. Great placement up Unbreakable. There's the, whatever the heck it's called, onto Valkyrie. And Valkyrie's going to have to fall back. Another missed stun from Amphora. I mean, you did actually have, Zephyr picked off. So I think all that distraction there from the rest of the team managed to allow Hellborn to get a kill onto Zephyr.
Maybe
who-
he should get a heart. If they're gonna ignore Zephyr, meaning the Legion team, if they're gonna ignore their most tanky hero or their most important hero right now, then try to save N4, which they did. They did save N4, but in the meantime, Zephyr did die in the back.
Yeah,
Poor
good trade,
Zephyr.
you know, good trade.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but hey, yeah, we saw the Valkyrie pick up the Shieldbreaker. That's gonna help quite a bit against that Zephyr, oh, even the Kraken.
It's so
for
weird
that
because like
matter.
when you look at the graph, like just intuitively before you look at the numbers, you're like, God, they're all farming so terribly. And you're like 283 for Valkyrie. I mean, it's not good, but that's still a pretty decent number, and it looks so insignificant next
That's not
to
like bottom of the
not
toilet.
only the power of the forest, but that 570 gold per minute from Zephyr.
Yeah, it's just a skewed graph. I mean, that's what we call it. As Valkyrie's going to use her ultimate for really no reason. It's going to bypass this ward for now, but they're going to be spotted eventually, and in the end is a wasted ultimate. So
Yeah,
yeah,
at the
this
end of the
gold
day,
is-
that wasn't necessarily the best usage of that.
every time you say that, I think you're mocking me. By the way, was that a mock?
I feel like I should just never tell you anymore, and then you'll
Can't
just
tell.
wonder.
I don't say it anymore. I don't think ever.
Yeah, but in the end is essentially the exact same thing.
No, I like in the end. I can say that over and over. I don't feel like that matters.
I feel like you're
because
gonna break out into like a Linkin Park song at any.
I can switch it up to as a result, in conclusion, but that just sounds like you're writing a freaking an essay or something.
Conclusion, I do say that Zephyr is farming very well.
Zephyr's farm basically means they're going to win this game most likely. I mean, we got Midas going for a snowball item in a spell shot. It's going to increase his damage quite a bit.
It will,
Yeah, my
and
accent
Spell
really
Shard's
needs
level
help.
2 picked up on Midas. I think for the rest of this game we're going to make a little bit more of an effort to focus on what is actually going on, unless of course I get distracted and start dreaming of Scrooge McDuck rolling around in mountains and mountains of gold coins.
Anyway, we've been catching. Me being the cameraman, that isn't actually the cameraman this time, but as a camera, I've caught every single fight. I just want to say
Yeah,
that.
by
As
the way, I saw this camera
demented
work is
shaman.
Sun's fan doing the camera. I'm sure you can
Oh.
tell the difference right now. So we have initiation coming in from Pharaoh, immediately taking out Midas. 2 kills being picked up from Team Tanari here. And all of a sudden they're maybe trying to climb back into it. Now 13-7. More damage being put on the Kraken.
Myrmidon!
And there we go. There's the combination from Myrmidon. So with 3 kills all of a sudden, and they're gonna, I would imagine, take this tier 1 tower in middle.
Yeah, and you see the experience gap just closing left and right here after these 2 big fights that they've had. Basically, well, I'll say the big fight where they killed Zephyr, that was their entire fight. And then this time where they pick off 2 to 3 people. I think it was 3. Yeah, Demented Shaman got killed too, I believe. Shieldbreaker level 3, I think, just bought by Mrs. Valkyrie.
Yeah,
By
and
the
you can
way,
see,
I have
even
to
though,
say-
like,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Valkyrie doesn't have any items, but with that shield breaker, even if it was like level 1, level 2, doing a lot of damage to, Kraken, just because, I mean, it's such a good item right now for ranged heroes. And I commented on this when they first made the change to shield breaker. I was shocked that they did that. I was also shocked to see that nobody really started getting it right away. But I mean, it is completely underpriced for what it is right now.
And I was shocked to see that nobody was complaining about it being overpowered, because it's still shockingly overpowered in the fact that you can get it.
I'm shocked that you actually agree with me too, because that's a shot. Nah.
That's
All right.
enough. I think that's enough. I wanted to bring up the Alt Avatar contest here, as we might have some action. Zephyr's going to use his guts on top of Pharaoh. There's the ultimate coming out, but there's a 2-second arrow going to hold him in place for just a little bit of time. It looks like Pharaoh will go down here. He's trying to get a barbed armor, looks like, so that's going to be actually a very good item to pick up this game. But seriously, Fallen Angel Valkyrie, is that a joke? An even bigger joke, the Martyr Avatar they're going to make. Like, out of all the apparently going to make basically all of them, except for the only one that's good in the Kangaroo freaking pandemonium. I'm just disgusted. Disgusted, Zeno.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Father Time Chronos.
That one's okay. It's okay, but it's
Here's the
nothing
thing, though.
compared to
Valkyrie is a
Kangaroo.
hero that you see in almost every game, and there's no non-limited time, option for her. So you had like the majority of players now, I think, probably weren't even around during the good old days when you could actually get that. So the way they look at it, I mean, this is like the first alternate avatar for Valkyrie. I haven't really seen too much of the Fallen Angel thing other than that one picture or whatever. So
From what I can see, it doesn't look that much different either. Like, but I guess you
it'll
don't
be like
wanna
a
make it
dark
look
kind
too
of
much different.
emo, Valkyrie. Yeah.
How about instead of riding a raccoon, ride something that doesn't suck balls?
Or make it like actually a raccoon. Even
Or
more
actually-
of a raccoon.
That's actually true. That
I
would
think
be
that
awesome.
would be amazing. Because it would fit well with the emo Valkyrie. You have like the dark raccoon eyes with the dark
Yeah, I'm
scare
on
or
board
whatever.
with that.
I think
That would be excellent. It looks like Hammer's going to initiate on the Midas here. There's the ultimate fair, going to keep Midas in place. He's not going to get away. The Unbreakable not there in time. Along with the Kraken, all kind of wasted there, but in hindsight, no. never know what's going to happen, so they're going to try to get away. They're getting picked off one
Yep.
by one.
It was
this is a
13 to
consistent
5,
pattern.
and now it's 14 to 9, so 4 to 1 recently in favor of Team Tanari here, and they're slowly climbing back into it just a little bit. Still down a whole bunch in gold, but they do have a lot of towers still left to take on the Legion side, and they are down, just 5k in experience. While it's big, it's not huge for 26 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
So they're not completely out of it. The unfortunate thing is when I look at their team, like, who's really gonna take off right now? I mean, it's basically gonna be Valkyrie. Who
I like Zephyr. I like him. I like him quite a bit. He's going for a Frostwolf, so congratulations to him for at least getting some sort of a slow. That is excellent to see. That's going to help in his tank and help him chase people quite a bit.
Now, if you're Zephyr, why wouldn't you just get like Frostfield Plate? I mean, I know it doesn't give you any HP, but well, whatever. I won't be too picky, Mr. Zephyr, since you are still farming at over 600 gold per minute. I will give you the benefit of not getting an item that I like seeing.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the armor aspect is the biggest thing, honestly, that would help him. But I prefer... I don't know. I like Frostwolf Skull. Okay? But yeah, Frostfield wouldn't be bad either. Any kind of frost, actually, come to think of it. Any three of those items would be excellent. But at the end of the day, Zeno, Zephyr is going for a Frostwolf, so not much you can do about that. It looks like he's gonna... Yep, he finishes it right there. Somebody disconnected here.
Yeah, still not back into the game, so we have another pause being thrown out. I guess we can pretend. We can pretend like this gives us an opportunity to talk about the items, since we haven't really done that too much. On Midas, I'm assuming we have a Spell Shards level 3, and yes, it is also that Frostwolf Skull finish now on Zephyr, so he's going to be a tanky, slow Frost beast of... Yeah.
Kraken's just not farming very well.
As, yeah, Kraken, I mean, you think that's kind of weird, too, because they had some decent success there at bottom, at least right off the bat, when people kind of roamed up that lane and Valkyrie was stuck there by himself. Valkyrie, on the other hand, picks up a Firebrand, and you... Poor Hammerstorm, trying to work probably towards a Shrunken Head, not anywhere close to that at this point. Also have a Storm Turret picked up just a minute or two ago on Polywog Priest, tablet on Myrmidon, and you did have that barbed armor that you're talking about on Pharaoh.
Oh, Myrmidon hit his combo! The combo! Ice Cyclone gonna set up the arrow and the wards on top of Zephyr. He's gonna take a lot of damage, but he's gonna get out of it right away. As we're gonna have an entire team fight here. Midas taking a lot of damage, most likely will get killed here, will go down. Before we can really insta-give anybody, we got some people low. Polywog's gonna get killed by Zephyr. Zephyr's gonna farm up on these wards. And I would assume they're just going to try to push this tower and probably, it looks like Myrmidon is actually hitting his weed fields now. So congratulations, looks like he's out of that slump. Good job to him. This tower will go down. I'm surprised that a Soul's Bulwark has not been picked up yet, but I guess the only person that would really need it, not need it, but would be picking it up is a Kraken, since Zephyr, you just want to get, more hardcore items, unless he wants to go for a full demonic, because he's going to get that 5-second arrow to the face. TP's going to come in to help in Valkyrie, but Valkyrie better be careful, because he's going to charge on the wall. Valkyrie, do you have a leap? Do you have a leap? No! Kraken, it's going to be used if somebody died. No, nobody died. The tower actually went down. So Valkyrie did get away. In the meantime, you see the barbed armor by Pharaoh going down. As Nymphora gets killed. Zephyr's going to try to run away, going to use the cycles to try to heal up. See the shield breaker being applied left and right. As Valkyrie did finally come back and died. Somehow came back. I'm not sure what that was all about. Kraken, Fatty McFatty's going to die as well. And Zephyr just doesn't care, He's like, you know what? You three are very low. I have the Demented Shaman.
Does have his
ultimate applied to me.
There we go. There we go. So at least he ends up killing Myrmidon. I thought after all that, like, surely someone on the Helmor team had bought out, given how successful they were in kind of fending off that push, but nobody bought out. And, despite Zephyr living and things not necessarily going amazingly well for Team Tanari, I think they still have the potential in team fights to do a good job. And poor Midas, I mean, he is getting picked off left and right. He really just needs to pick up maybe something to give him a little bit more tankiness.
Well, with those spell shards, you're basically, in a lot of ways, like we've talked about, you're going all in, so to speak. It helps you snowball a little bit, but obviously it doesn't give you any stats as far as, health gain or anything like that. So you really do need to pick your spots better. You can't initiate with him. At this point in the game, you're just going to get demolished. So I think, perhaps biding your time a little bit, waiting for team fight to actually take place, and perhaps going to the side, flanking or something like that. You could still insta-give some people. Polywog could almost get insta-give Myrmidon. will get insta-given. That's pretty much it, actually. It's
Yeah,
like 1,300 health on Hammer now.
Horseful up to almost 650 gold per minute now, so he's still racking up quite a bit of money. Probably also have Demented Shaman. I'm shocked that they have not got a tablet before this point in time. But Demented Shaman will eventually get tablet, which you almost never see against the Pharaoh, so that's probably why they haven't got it yet. Yeah, and a Polywalk, and yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mention Valkyrie, who we talked about not having any HP items at this point. Less than 1,000 health at this point in the game, which 1, 2, 3 of your heroes are under 1,000 health. So Midas can insta-give you, period. He can absolutely insta-give you, and I expect him to perhaps pick up, I would have preferred instead of a Spell Shards, perhaps like a Hellflower or something like that, but now he's kind of forced to go a little bit, I don't know what he can get here. Maybe a Sheep Stick or something like that, give him a little bit of health, and obviously everything else that comes with it would definitely help as Hammerstorm getting closer. Only a recipe away for finishing his Shrunken Horse.
Yeah, and I mean, Shrunken Head will be a pretty good item this game, but he's still not going to do a huge amount of damage, as now we have a portal key blinked up on Midas. He's like, fine, if I get caught out in the front and get picked off instantly without my team being able to back me up, I'm going to do it with an item that will not give me any stats. Hopefully, that will just mean that he won't be in the front anymore and actually hang back a little bit and wait to kind of counter-initiate onto all these squishy heroes as you're talking about.
I mean, he picked up the Spell Shards, and I said he went all in with it. Now, what's past all in? Because that's what he's doing now with the portal key.
Well, I think he's basically. I mean, that's.
I don't
Sure.
want your insight. I want a word, actually.
Oh, what's past all in?
Yeah, what is past all in? All in with the cherry on top?
That's not really one word, so I feel like
Well,
you cheated me
phrase
out of
fine.
saying that.
Phrase is fine.
All right, let's go with that one.
Good. He's all in with a cherry on top. Continue with your insight, please.
I mean, the portal key actually does kind of look a little cherry-like. Maybe it's like a
Metal Zero!
cherry of some sort. Now, I want to look at the cherry as Zephyr's taking a lot of damage. We'll look to fall back. There's the heal, waiting for the unbreakable. What?
Fabulous!
Demented Shaman again? Why? Why do you not cast your spells, man?
He did. Well, he cast his Unbreakable. I think it was.
It was
either
off
not in
cooldown,
time
so
or
that's all I'm gonna say.
It was off cooldown.
Yep.
Really?
I think that what looked like the Unbreakable cape was actually the damage he was taking from the
Shieldbreaker. Yeah.
or not even the Shieldbreaker, but the
Face.
barbed armor. As we have more action, and Kraken's getting stuck out in the middle of nowhere, gets taken down, throws down his ult onto Valkyrie. But Valkyrie should be fine. And all of a sudden, this game is looking like it could be turned around for Team Tonari. I mean, they're now only 4 kills down, still holding relatively even in gold and experience, but again, that's holding even in a game where they had a huge disadvantage.
Yep. As we're going to see more action here, Midas is going to get cheaped and will go down. Unbreakable not there in time, unfortunately. So he did cast it this time. Wait, what did you say the Unbreakable was that I was mistaking it for? And was it Shieldbreaker?
Maybe it was the damage being taken from Pharaoh's barbed armor.
What? Not red.
Yeah, it is.
So much I know. And too much Dota too, you know?
Apparently,
Looks like
as we finally have
Absolute Malphite
Zephyr.
picked
Yes.
up on Zephyr.
Thank you. Getting a little bit more
I forgot to make
tankiness.
my sound, sorry.
Yeah, we're struggling to follow our usual traditions in this cast.
My
Unfortunately.
apologies. I want to make people feel a little bit more comfortable. But what you're seeing this game is Zephyr getting an ungodly early Mock of the Brilliance, and they didn't really take advantage of it. He's just using it, to farm, which I think is. I mean, it's fine to some degree, but if you get a Mock of Brilliance that early and you don't really go into team fight, you can dominate every single team fight. I promise you, especially with this much heal. And he's just using it to completely farm. So, and being and actually, this is another good point. You're seeing the power and how powerful Shieldbreaker is now. You're taking a hero that, let's see how much, he is 600 gold per minute. It's almost double everybody on the opposite team. And they're still in this game because that Shieldbreaker goes right through that cuddly little owl's face, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know why he hasn't picked up Assassin's Shroud quite yet, so we'll see what he decides to do.
On Zephyr?
Oh, yeah.
Assassin's Shroud on Zephyr.
Yeah. I'm actually kidding, but I do think that'd be hilarious to pick up on him. That's what I used to get when I was screwing around and was farming at like 650 gold per minute, completely destroying.
I see.
Pop my Assassin Shroud and run around doing magic damage.
You know what I'd get? I'd get a demonic.
Really? Like an actually helpful item? How dare you? Kraken also
looks
does
like-
have that
yeah.
Soul's Bulwark, so if anyone's getting it, it'll be him. Looking to see maybe some pressure on this defense tower. Again, shocked to see no move towards Kongor at all, but
Oh.
we'll see what they decide to do as an arrow flies. Unfortunately, not able to hit anyone. And now we're gonna have kind of this awkward point in time where both teams are grouping up, and we'll see if anyone wants to man up and actually kind of initiate this team fight. I honestly think that a lot of this kind of will rely on Midas. If he can actually get in and maybe take out someone like Polywog, who still is right at like 1,000 health, I mean that's going to be huge for them. It's just they haven't had good initiations in team fights.
Indubitably, sir. Looks like Kraken's going to leave that Soul's Bulwark on defensive, so it's almost going to nullify the effects of Shield Breaker, but of course you get 1 extra minus armor for that, and of course you go right through the shield of the Helm of Black Legion. Zephyr's going to initiate here, but not actually going to initiate. He's going to prove me wrong, but Zephyr in the meantime is going to get initiated on this time. There you see the Kraken ult absolutely decimating Valkyrie, and that actually might be the fight, to be perfectly honest. Although Zephyr is taking a ton of damage. You see the heals coming out, Cyclone's coming out.
Wow.
And Pharaoh was the one to get killed. Zephyr's going to go back and kind of kite people. Looks like this team fight has been completely won by Virtual Esports. So, taking out that Valkyrie very early, and you see the power and fury of the healing power of this Legion team on top of Zephyr. And they're going to win this, or get this lane at the very least, if not multiple lanes at this point.
Alright, the first and foremost, although they won, guess how many spells Demented Shaman managed to cast?
How many?
0!
That's a lie.
It's not a lie. It is 100% the truth. And he basically got disabled, but here is kind of a pet peeve of mine. If you're looking to take advantage of a Demented Shaman ult, and you're going to push in at a certain time, and you don't think you can get great placement on the other team with good timing, just put it on yourself. It's better than not using it at all. And I don't understand why people don't do that.
Don't worry, Constipated. I love you because your name is awesome. I give you the benefit of the doubt.
And
No matter
secondly, big shout out to Polywog Priest for that amazing Storm Spirit placement onto Zephyr.
Oh, Pasha, get her on top of Zephyr!
Valkyrie, there's the follow-up by Pharaoh. Are they going to be able to get this kill? There you see the helmet, or I'm sorry, the barbed armor going into effect. And you're right, it does turn red. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Zephyr's taking a lot of damage. He's going to be getting away. Lots of heals coming out. Unbreakable, not in time because your favorite Demented Shaman did not get there in time. Poor cuddly guy.
In his
Lucky
defense, he
Constipated.
was dead for a certain amount of time, as Zephyr apparently buys back, so we'll see if he can get right back into the team fight here. There's the Polywog Wards being placed in Fora, taking a lot of damage now, along with the Carp. Wow! Will end up taking a death there from the Tormented Soul. Now Pharaoh's in a little bit of trouble, even though he does have barbed armor. Demented Shaman, a back and forth fight. Oh wow! Demented Shaman ends up killing. There's Pharaoh dying. People dying left and right. Hammersword's almost dead. Midas is almost dead. I don't even know where to look anymore. Zephyr's AFK farming the wards. People are pulling back. So, after all
Valkyrie
that,
and Kraken killed each other. That was awesome.
yeah, and the Pharaoh Demented Shaman fight turned out to basically be the same thing. I had thought that Pharaoh would have no chances. He only had like 100 health for about 5 seconds. But apparently, Demented Shaman could just not keep up with
Boy,
that.
I'm so amazing. You can't do anything. Don't you blubbing now?
God, my English accent needs some help. It's been so long.
A little bit.
Ah,
I think the problem
apologize,
is
guys.
like when you don't have your brother to kind of help you along with some of these things, it makes it.
oh, he doesn't ever do English. I mean, he can,
No.
but it's not a character like it is for me. His characters are more interesting. Unfortunately. That's
Yeah, so
disappointing.
Zephyr did buy back, also did finish the heart. You do have that Mystic Staff picked up on Midas, so I'm imagining that will mean he's going towards a Sheep Stick, although, I mean, it's a little... I don't know if he'll finish it before this game is over, to be frank. But overall, although we saw
Hound
Team
Eye.
vRs struggle quite a bit, I think that they'll be good to end up wrapping up this game.
I didn't notice they even had a Bound Eye, but apparently they lost it in the forest here on the right. And Amphora just TP'd half his team to go fetch it, so they have it in their possession yet again. As Zephyr has that finished heart. I mean, what can he do? He can get rid of the Helm of Black Legion.
Well, it's going to be interesting because they have the Bound Eye, and there's the Valkyrie ult along with that Ward of Sight. So that didn't give them any vision at all, but did let them know that Valkyrie was using the ult to try and initiate. I'm curious to see, do you think they're just going to go straight up mid right now, or go back to Conqueror? Or
they should go top and spread them out. Now, this is what we call the spread eagle, ladies and gentlemen. When you take the bottom lane, you go top. You spread eagle. You spread them eagle, is what I should say. Do you think that'll catch on? I think that's a great, it's a great description for it. All right?
I think people would stick maybe with like the spread offense, kind of like in football or all the other various types of spreads that you have.
Screw that, looks like an initiation here by Zephyr. He's going to pound into Valkyrie. Valkyrie finally uses that Geovane. And there you see Pharaoh going to be using the mummies on top of Crackety McCracken. But Valkyrie did die immediately, so this is going to be a lost fight one way or another for Hellborn. Chase continues on to Pharaoh, but nobody cares about that. Well, actually, that's the only thing that's actually going on. So we're going to continue to cast that. Pharaoh will get demolished in the face. And then meanwhile, Myrmidon's going to use her ult to try to get away, get a little bit more HP. But there you see the power of Midas in burst damage. Getting a triple kill. Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise. Kraken's gonna run right into good old-fashioned Hammer Storm, and there. Oh, this Midas gonna be able to get quadruple kill. Is he gonna be able to do it? No, Rape takes the kill away from him.
Yeah, this team is like your dream team as far as names.
I know. Rape, Horseful, and Constipate. I love you guys. Awesome.
No wonder you picked this game to cast.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we will have the mid-Rex fall as well, so 2 Rex down already for the Hellborn team, and I think this game is probably just about over. You had a lot of damage.
Not to interrupt you, Xena, not to interrupt you, but not to interrupt you, but Midas is seriously a very entertaining hero to watch. I'm glad, I'm happy with that hero, and I don't always say that for new heroes, so it seems like a hit or miss to be honest, but for him, like, what's your opinion on him?
I think he's fun to watch. He has a lot of utility, as we have a little bit of back and forth here, but the final range Rex will be going down shortly. He has a heal, he has, like, there's a lot of, I like heroes where you have a lot of variability and skill in how you play certain things, and with his heal, as we have more action, I don't even care about the action anymore. Dementia Shaman's gonna die, maybe, yes. Poly Priest is gonna die. There we go. Pharaoh's gonna die. There we go. And more people are gonna die. So in the end, lots of people die. The other people are not dead, and might be dying shortly. I think that he has a lot of variability in how he's played, and that makes him exciting to watch. As speaking of that, he will try and go back in and maybe get another kill, but does not.
Sorry, had a little bit of Tourette moment there. Tourette's moment. Zephyr's gonna completely die.
Wow.
And wow, the Valkyrie dies. That's a genocide.